A while back, I heard about this book titled Run, Hide, Fight. It's a Winnie the Pooh based stay safe, how to deal with an active shooter situation booklet for children, surprisingly. I heard about this. It was all over the news a while back. Let me just read this Guardian article on it. By the way, I did purchase a copy. Cost me like $10 or something like that with shipping. I don't remember. Actually, it was like $2 or $3 plus another 3 or 4 for shipping. Anyways, I bought it, I scanned it in, and I included the lesson plan at the back too. There was a lesson plan for it, so we're going to read all of it. But first, let me just give you a little refresher on the story if you're unfamiliar. The copyright just lifted for Winnie the Pooh because I don't remember what it is, 70 years after the death of the author or something like that. They can't use like Winnie the Pooh from the movie, but they can use an archaic Winnie the Pooh, if you will, which is what we see on the front of this book here. This shouldn't exist, by the way. This shouldn't have to exist. We should simply do basic gun reform. I'm talking basic stuff. Just universal background checks, disallowing people who have domestic violence charges from owning a firearm. We should create these licensure programs where you have to be licensed to own one. You have to prove to me and, everybody else in society that you know what you're doing, that you're not going to like point it around all willy-nilly without thinking about it, scratch your head with it or something like that. You're not going to do some stupid thing like that. You got to prove that to me before you can own one. That's my opinion on it. I haven't even banned automatic rifles yet. If we could just get those couple of things. Oh, and close the universal background check loophole, the gun show loophole. I'd like to close that too. There's 3 basic things we could do to make this a better place, but I digress. Let's read the article here. This is written May 25th, 2023. Texas school children as young as 4 years old are being given Winnie the Pooh cartoon books, teaching them to run, hide, fight if a gunman enters their building. Can you say orphan crushing machine? Why does this exist? Parents and teachers in the Dallas area have expressed alarm and concern that the Stay Safe book, produced by a law enforcement consulting firm in Houston, has been sent home in the backpacks of children in pre-kindergarten and elementary classes. Yeah, they're talking about pole dancing in children's school, like in elementary school. Really, they're claiming, I'm talking Republicans, claiming there's pole dancing happening in elementary schools. You think I'm being flippant, don't you? I'm going to have to prove myself, I see. It wasn't a nobody that said it either. It was a guy that was this close to winning the governor position in Pennsylvania in 2022. Guy's name was Doug Mastriano. This close to winning.
On day one, the sexualization of our kids, pole dancing, and all this other crap that's going on will be forbidden in our schools.
Pole dancing in schools.
On day one, all the pornographic books that are in elementary schools will be pulled out.
But not Winnie the Pooh, Run, Hide, Fight. We're leaving that one in, right?
Quick interjection, this won't take long. I just want to say, if you want to support my channel, the best way you can do it is by watching this video to the end, or at least watching a little bit longer than you would have otherwise. YouTube's recommendation algorithm works off of watch time. You can also subscribe to the channel, like the video, and check out my Patreon. Link is in the description for that. Alright, back to the video.
The book features honey-loving bear created by A.A. Milne, and illustrator E.H. Shepard, instructing kids about how to react to a mass shooting. It is not an official production. Winnie the Pooh has been in the public domain in the U.S. since the 1st of January 2022. The subtitle to the Stay Safe book is, If There's Danger, Let Winnie the Pooh and his crew show you what to do. Run, hide, fight. Run, hide, fight are tactics advised by the FBI should the unthinkable occur. Again, you know what would help the unthinkable not occur? Decrease the number of guns in the country. Institute a gun buyback program. You don't want to sell your gun? Okay. You don't have to. But people that do want to sell their guns back can easily and quickly take them, give them to this government program. They'll give you like $150, $200 for it or whatever it's worth. And there will be one less gun floating around for some young psychotic nutcase to get his paws on and go take out an entire school with. If you do want to keep your gun, in my opinion, this isn't ever going to happen. It's a pipe dream. But in an ideal world, you would have to prove to society, namely me and the government and whoever else, that you have a gun safe that you keep it in. And you have to be willing to be subjected to random inspections to ensure that the gun is in its proper location in the safe and unloaded. That's just me. I mean, I could be convinced otherwise, but that's my position on it. Inside pages of the book, featuring other characters from the 100-Acre Wood, tell kids if it's safe to get away, we should run like rabbit instead of stay. If danger is near, do not fear. Hide like Pooh does until the police appear. Let's read the book, shall we? Stay safe. If there's danger, let Winnie the Pooh and his crew show you what to do. Run, hide, fight. Written and illustrated by Chief Ken Adcox and Brittany Adcox Flores, a teacher. Look, I respect and applaud the attempt to save kids' lives and instruct them on what to do. Like stop, drop, and roll. I love it. We should be teaching everybody this tactic of putting out a fire. But we don't have to have guns around. It's not a requirement. Why do we have this? Why is this a part of our society? We should do what Australia did and institute a massive buyback program and make it nearly impossible to own one. You know what you're doing, and you have enough money and time and resources to devote to the training necessary to own one, great, you can own one. Almost nobody should be allowed to own a gun, in my opinion. Almost nobody should be allowed to own a stick that, when pointed at somebody, ends their life. Almost no one should own that, but again, I digress. Let's keep reading. You're braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. A. Milne. I think that's the one that wrote it. If you see or hear something that's not right, be bright and tell a teacher. Do not delay. Do this right away. If there's a danger, the police will come fast to catch the stranger. Well, see, that's the problem. It's almost never a stranger. It's usually somebody that the kids know that's doing this psychotic stuff. Until then, remember what Pooh and his crew said to do. Run, hide, fight. If there's danger and it's safe to get away, we should run like rabbit instead of stay. Help friends that need it, but if we can't quit until we're safe with a teacher or the police. What? Help friends that need it, but we can't quit until we're safe with a teacher or the police. So if somebody's been shot in the arm or the leg and they're losing blood and you don't know what to do, grab the kid by the leg, the other leg, I guess, and drag him to another classroom where you can lock the door behind you with this kid inside to prevent him from being slaughtered as well. Genius. Genius. This book should not have to exist. If danger is near, do not fear. Hide like Pooh does until the police appear. Well, as we've seen, the police have no obligation to act. You know, there was a story I was listening to a while back where there's a serial killer on the loose, and his MO was he entered a subway car, like a train car, pulls out a knife, and stabs somebody. At the next stop, gets off the train and bolts. Right? And he kept doing that. He did that a bunch of times. This is forever ago. It was on the Q train, as a matter of fact, I believe. And the police looked at the patterns and deduced that he was likely going to be on this train at this time. So 2 cops went to the engineer's little office, or whatever you call it, the engineer's room there, where the guy is driving the train. And they wait, and they're looking through the window, and they're waiting to see if this guy turns up. And sure enough, he did. He turned up, and he pulls his knife out. The police continue watching as he says to this guy, "I'm going to kill you." The guy lunges at him to try to stop him. The attacker stabs him in the head 3 times. The guy survived, by the way. Stabs him in the head 3 times. I think he lost his ear. And then he pulls the guy's legs out from under him when another passenger runs up and pulls the knife away from him. And then the police come out of the conductor's car after all of that commotion took place. Why? Because the police have no obligation to do anything. They don't have an obligation to do their fucking jobs. They have no obligation to do shit but watch something take place. That's it. So this line right here, hide like Pooh until the police appear. Good luck. Good luck, Pooh. We should all hide without making a sound in a place where we cannot be found. You know, I actually taught my daughter how to pretend to be dead when she was little, just in case, you know? You never know what's going to happen. If we have cell phones, make sure to turn off all tones. Yeah, silent the phone so that it doesn't make any noises. It's a good idea. If danger finds us, don't stay, run away. If we can't get away, we have to fight with all our might. Like Kanga and Roo do, it is better to fight together. When the danger is gone, we should not fuss. Instead, wait for a teacher or the police to come find us. We should not fuss. What does that mean? They saying when the danger is gone, we shouldn't sit there and cry after what we just had to go through? I don't understand. This shouldn't be a problem. We shouldn't be dealing with this. This shouldn't be in the 100-Acre Wood, okay? It is psychotic to me that this was actually a book that was written. Institute a gun buyback program. Make bump stocks illegal. Make semi-automatic rifles illegal. Make fully automatic rifles illegal. Hell, make handguns illegal. Why the f*** do we have handguns? What are those for? If we want a good weapon for home defense, you know what we should use? A shotgun. We should have birdshot, buckshot in a shotgun. Birdshot is less lethal. You're less likely to kill somebody with it, although it is possible to do. Shot number 1 is a warning. Shot number 2 is a warning. Shot number 3 is real. Somebody enters your home, you should fire off 2 warning rounds before you fire off the real deal, in my opinion. And it's dark. Why would you try to shoot a little handgun in the first place, in the middle of the night, in the dark? Shotguns have a big spread. Why wouldn't somebody use a shotgun for home defense? What is a pistol for? What do you use it for? This is just sick, man. No more rifles. No more handguns. Shotguns, okay. Rifles that can be used to take out, like, for hunting or whatever, okay. With heavy licensing, I guess I can accept that. Every other kind of gun should be bought by the government, in my opinion. Danger is scary, but our legendary friends, Pooh and his crew, are here to help us through. If danger comes, remember, all we need to do to be a member of Winnie the Pooh's Stay Safe crew is to run, hide, fight. Stay safe, run, hide, fight. Stay Safe was created in collaboration with active police officers and classroom teachers. The sole purpose of the Stay Safe system is to teach children how to remain safe and protect themselves should a dangerous school intrusion take place. The material is presented in an age-appropriate format that is designed to teach and reinforce the concepts of run, hide, fight, which are recommended by the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. As with other school safety strategies like fire drills, pedestrian safety, and stranger danger, the concepts of run, hide, fight must be discussed regularly with students of all ages. Shouldn't have to be. Shouldn't be like this. Just putting it out there. This is just sick, man. This is straight up sick. Somebody says, should not shoot to warn. No, you should shoot with the intent to hit the person. But you know what? Birdshot is less lethal. If you're going to pull that trigger, you should be prepared to deal with the consequences of what you're about to do. You should be prepared for that person to die. But in an ideal world, maybe that person is scared off by the sound and gets away and has to deal with getting a little tiny birdshot BB taken out of his ass at the hospital. Best case. This is the back of the book. It was red. Okay, so this is the lesson plan that I was looking at here. Stay safe K-6, run, hide, fight, introductory lesson plan. Let's just zoom in on this puppy, see what we can see here. Course objectives, familiarize young students with the concepts of run, hide, fight in response to a dangerous school intruder. Active shooter scenario. The Stay Safe K-6 learning curriculum is specifically designed to reinforce and visually imprint children with the concepts of run, hide, fight, while utilizing age-appropriate material that is less frightening to young minds. There are separate age-appropriate curriculums and materials for older children. Student prerequisites, none. Instructor prerequisites, certified teacher or school counselor or certified law enforcement instructor with subject matter expertise in active shooter response. Length of course, 30 to 45 minutes. Required materials, copy of Stay Safe Winnie the Pooh booklet for each student. Winnie the Pooh Run, Hide, Fight poster for each classroom, optional. Winnie the Pooh Stay Safe Crew sticker badge for each student, optional. Lesson plan steps. Before class, hang Winnie the Pooh Stay Safe poster emphasizing run, hide, fight concepts, optional. As lesson begins, direct students' attention to the poster and tell students that today's lesson will be about staying safe and should there be danger in school. This can be done while passing out Stay Safe Crew badge stickers for each student, asking them to put them on. The badges are optional, but experience has shown that students wearing the badge tend to be more attentive to the forthcoming material. Students and instructor can also wear the badges throughout the class day, helping to further reinforce the lessons learned. Posters can be left hanging permanently. Pass out Stay Safe booklet to each individual student and ask them to write their name in the space provided on the last page. The booklet should be the students to keep so they can review the lessons themselves, as well as take the booklet home to review with parents, siblings, and other family, further emphasizing run, hide, fight concepts. Again, I think that this is a fine idea. I think this is an intelligent choice to make. It's an intelligent thing to teach children. It's good for them to learn this. Why the f*** are we teaching 6-year-olds how to hide from an active shooter? Get this shit out of our schools. Not the book, the guns. At any cost. Because you know what the cost is of keeping them in our schools right now? 2021 had 186 shootings with injuries and or deaths. 186. That's just the attacks. That's not how many injuries or deaths there were. That's how many attacks there were. Begin the lesson by explaining to students that school is safe, but we must always be ready in case there is danger. Some examples can be provided, such as looking both ways for cars before crossing the street, understanding what to do if there's a fire, not talking to strangers, etc. You think Tucker Carlson's kids sit there and worry about this stuff? You think Tucker Carlson's kids got a copy of Run, Hide, Fight with Winnie the Pooh? No, they go to a private school where they don't have to worry about this stuff because they have private security and metal detectors and the whole 9 yards. Oh yeah, and the kids there, they don't have real world problems. The vast majority of the kids at a private school are living pretty decent lives by and large. Have nothing to complain about. It's just disgusting stuff, dude. Disgusting stuff. Run, hide, fight with Winnie the Pooh. Take a look at this website, 17 facts about gun violence and school shootings. Let's check this out, okay? Gun violence and school shootings are a uniquely American epidemic. Sandy Hook Promise is shining a light on these vital facts and statistics. That's the name of the website, Sandy Hook Promise. Every number you see stands for a person, often a child, with hopes, dreams, and loved ones who cherished them. Children and families in the U.S. are facing a vast problem, but you can help. Share these facts, know the signs, and act to protect them before it's too late. 12. Each day, 12 children die from gun violence in America. Another 32 are shot and injured. 44 casualties in the gun violence war, if you will, in the U.S. 2. Guns are the leading cause of death among American children and teens. 1 out of 10 gun deaths are age 19 or younger. 3. In fact, firearm deaths occur at a rate of more than 5 times higher than drownings. A rate 5 times higher than drownings. Since Columbine in 1999, more than 338,000 students in the U.S. have experienced gun violence at school. 338,000 students. Think about those numbers. That's nuts. There were more school shootings in 2022, 46, than in any year since Columbine. This mirrored America's broader rise in gun violence as it emerged from the pandemic. However, U.S. Department of Homeland Security's research shows that if we know the signs of gun violence, we can prevent it and reverse the trend. Honestly, we should not be able to possess a stick that, when pointed at somebody, ends their life without proving that we know what we're doing with it. That without proving that we keep it in a safe that's locked, that nobody else has a combination to. Nobody. No, it doesn't matter how much you trust this kid or whatever. In 2022, 34 students and adults died, while more than 43,000 children were exposed to gunfire at school. There is help for victims and survivors of gun violence. If you're curious, it's sandyhookpromise.org. They'll help. Facts about how to stop school shootings and other violence. Number 7. An estimated 4.6 million American children live in a home where at least one gun is kept loaded and unlocked. These improperly stored weapons have contributed to school shootings, suicides, and deaths of family members, including infants and toddlers. Guns used in about 68% of gun-related incidents at schools were taken from the home, a friend, or a relative, i.e., you think you know what you're doing. You think you have that gun locked away, but you don't. Sometimes you forget. Sometimes you get back from hunting, you just feel like leaving it out. Don't want to put it away right now. Don't want to unload it or clean it or whatever. So you just leave it out. Or you just put it in the gun safe and you close the gun safe. And hell, you keep other stuff in there too, so your kid might as well know the combination. Why not, right? That's how it happens. 93% of school shooters planned the attack in advance. And a lot of the time, people didn't even know. There weren't warning signs, or the warning signs were completely ignored. Here's another fact. In almost every documented case of active shooters, warning signs were shown. There you go. But it were apparently ignored. 1 in 5 gay and lesbian youth have been threatened or injured with a weapon on school property. Is it really that low? I thought for sure it'd be higher than that. Black youth are 4 times more likely to be killed with guns than their white peers. Children of color are far more likely to experience campus gun violence. It's more than twice as much for Hispanic students and over 3 times as much for black students. Now, I know the arguments that are going to be made against this already. I can hear the Nazis among us formulating what they want to say. I know what they're going to say is, well, it's mostly black people that are committing these crimes anyways, blah, blah, blah. First of all, I don't know that that's true. I just know that's the argument they're going to make. And second, does it matter? Does anybody care who's committing these crimes? What I care about is stopping them, preventing this from happening. What is going on right now? This is a uniquely American pandemic, or epidemic, I guess. A uniquely American epidemic that needs to be dealt with. I don't care who's doing it. I don't care who the victims are exactly. I care about stopping it so there aren't any more victims. That's what I care about. That's it. It's psychotic to me that people are not doing something about this already. Jupe the Malignant, Pooh must be the one pole dancing. 100%, yeah. It's Winnie the Pooh that's pole dancing. And Sandy Hook Promise is doing everything they can to stop Winnie the Pooh from pole dancing. Anyway, man, just let me know what you think about it in the comments. This is just depraved. Seriously.